All right.
Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Maria Elena Duron, the founder of KLI Brand. Maria brings over 18 years of digital marketing expertise, multiple Google certifications, and a passion for helping small businesses amplify their online presence. Based in Midland, Odessa area, KLI Brand, founded to empower small businesses, has guided over 12,400 clients to greater visibility through services like Google Business Profile Management, SEO, and social media strategies. We'll be exploring her founding story, how her business transforms small businesses into digital powerhouses, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Maria, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you, Jay. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for asking me. And I am excited to really delve into some things that hopefully are helpful in people being able to be themselves more visible and viable in their business.
I absolutely love that. And a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show today, Maria. So, really would love to start at the beginning for our
Sure.
listeners. If you could take us back and talk a bit about the specific problem in the digital marketing landscape that really inspired you to start KLI Brand.
The specific problem is a lot of people didn't realize how to work with social at all. That's really when I started working was into going into social media. Then it was, is it media? Is it social? Twitter was brand new. I started with just three people. We decided we wanted to all learn Twitter all together, and we started a Twitter chat. It started, as said, back then when Twitter first started. 12 years later, we grew what was known as Brand Chat. It had been around for 12 years, meeting every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, talking about all things branding. We became one of the top three Twitter chats in the world, and actually had the chance to have people like the CMOs of different companies, Starbucks, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, just a lot of different people there to talk about how they focused on branding, what they did in being able to develop and really get their brands known within the public and within social. So that is where I started at, again, with local businesses, even dealing with how they can become more social, and even with people who are more campaigning at different levels, from city council to county judges, dealing with politics, and how do you deal with all of the social influx that doesn't come in an 8 to 5 kind of day. So that is where I cut my teeth at, getting to learn how do you solve that problem and be omnipresent in definitely a world that is now looking at more of a digital focus. And that was just at the beginning, and look at where we're at now.
And I think that's the coolest thing, right? Is having so much growth, right? And seeing where
Yes.
things were 10, 12 years ago to now
Yes.
and all this AI and these integrations and the advancements.
Yes.
So it's incredible to hear how successful you've been and how successful you will continue to be because of the innovations that are being made. So really would love to dive in and really get into the nuts and bolts with you, Maria, because I know
Sure.
so many of our listeners are going to be eager to hear exactly what you're doing here. Because once this episode airs, they could be coming to you to use these
Sure.
services and work with you. So walk us
Sure.
through how KLI Brand is really generating revenue today. As far as the core offer, who
Sure.
the ideal client is, and how is that core offer structured for your clients?
Sure. So our core offer is we actually help businesses who are tired of trying to struggle with getting found on Google or anywhere people search for answers. So where are the trust platforms now? They're not just Google, they're any of the social search engines, social. They're also any of the AI platforms. People are searching in Perplexity, ChatGPT, they're searching on Gemini. There are so many Claude. So there are so many places where people do search. So how do you get that visibility there? That's really what we focus on, in making sure that they've got all the different trust factors in there. They're being consistent in what they need, and they actually are taking care of that altogether, because a lot of people start down that track and they try to DIY it and they get frustrated right away. So even when I'm speaking to people, I tell them, you will always know when it's a great client for me, because they'll say, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of dealing with Google, or I'm so tired of dealing with this. I can't get seen. I don't know what else to do. That's my perfect client, because at that point they already know, listen, there are lots of information out there on socials or on YouTube, but I just don't have time for that. I want this to work. I'm focused on results. I don't want to get in the weeds of doing. And that's who's best for us.
Absolutely incredible. So really just putting forward that Google ad management side of things, social media strategies, really being able to work with these businesses on that. So as far as your ideal client, is it more on the small business side that you like to work with, a bit bigger? What's the ideal client for you when it comes to these types of services?
They're small to medium-sized businesses. I do work with a lot of startups who may come to a training, a free training that I do. They may be interested in some of the DIY or a little bit of DFY, DIY. So done together in tandem, some work together. But really the best clients for me are those, as I said, small to medium who realize, you know what, they need to focus on building their business. So they are going to bring in other experts to focus on different areas that are not their zone of genius. Now they can do that and they can make more bang for their buck because they've got somebody who is really an expert at doing this. So if I can help you become visible, not just in Google, but any search or even AI search, if I can help you do that, then you can stay within your expertise of being the subject matter expert or the service expert, and you can handle that. And that really helps grow the business much quicker than you trying to be an expert at everything and being mediocre at everything.
Amazing. Amazing. So talk to us a bit about how you approach the idea of scale, right? How do
Sure.
you think about scaling, especially with the offers that you have on the table right now, Maria? Which one of your offers really do you see kind of as the hottest ticket for you, whether it's 70 to 80% of the business? Which offer would that be, unless it's across all of the offers that you have? And how do you approach the idea of scaling with that side of things?
Now, a lot of the offers that I have are really lead, so they're funnels that actually lead to that, the actual prime offer or what we call the bullseye. So the bullseye for us is truly we're looking at somebody who is ready to do some growing in their business and they want to be visible quickly. So that's what they're looking for. And they want us to do a review and a diagnostic really of where they're at in terms of visibility. So we're looking at Google visibility as well as AI search visibility. And now not just SEO, search engine optimization, but AEO, answer engine optimization. Then we go to GEO, generative AI engine optimization. So we've got all the alphabet in play, and we look at that and give them a good diagnostic of what that is and what we can do for them, depending on the scale of their business, how involved we would be, and how quickly that can happen. But that gets them then out of trying to figure that out and making those tiny little micromanaging decisions. They can go focus and they can now know that in 2 weeks and 4 weeks' time, they're visible, they're ready to go, they can grow their business, and we can help support them if we need to with any maintenance. But really, our job is to get them off and running, and they can manage it if they want to, or at least work with a team member that they have to be able to be educated and take it from that standpoint. So that's what we focus on.
Absolutely incredible. So with that, there obviously this is a big thing that you're helping your clients with. So I would love to hear from you. What's working best for KLI brand right now as far as acquisition? So as far as the channels that
Mhm.
are working best for you, is there a lever that you can pull that's going to bring in that consistent, constant lead flow for you guys? Talk to us about what channels have been most effective.
The channels the most effective have been actually take the doing a webinar or a meeting kind of talk and presentation, showcasing and teaching one simple item to do, how they can do it, how they can be effective at it, and then they start into my email marketing flow. My email marketing channel is by far the one that does the best because it is something where I can track to see how many people opened it. I see that twice a week they're reading it. There's an interest. Anytime I flow anything into email marketing, then I will always see an uptick at that point, and that to me is my best channel. How they get there is several different ways. They can be coming in through LinkedIn, maybe we got together on Instagram, or again, they came and saw me speak somewhere for free, and now they're interested in finding out more. So they become a part of that actual email, that email channel, email audience. So that target audience and email is really my prime audience.
Amazing. Amazing. Talk to us about what you're doing as far as that predictability goes. Obviously, that
Mhm.
email marketing side is phenomenal. Are you doing
Sure.
anything around ads or the more social media on that front? Talk to us about that side of it.
Not so much ads, more social media. So it's social media that you'll see stories and Instagram do quite well. LinkedIn does really well. I'm pretty consistent on LinkedIn. I have a very much a focus there of where I do some engagement. I have a schedule of how much I post there, what I'm posting about, what I'm focusing on. So I know what they're being driven to next, which is normally email marketing. And then in email marketing, they can self-disclose from there as I have different topics and things I talk about. They'll click in to say, you know what, this is what I'm interested in, helps me target them even more. So I'm getting that zero party data that we all love to know exactly
Yep.
what actually our customers or clients need in order for them to go further, or what their challenges are, so we can know if we're helpful to solve them, or maybe we know somebody who can solve them. But it gets us a closer relationship with them. So I actually have that within email marketing. I'm very active in email marketing as well, letting them know, respond to me here, let me know what you think, what are your thoughts here. And they're really good about keeping up with a conversation. So that has been helpful, because I feel like now we have a deeper relationship and I know what they're wanting and asking, as opposed to guessing that.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I definitely want to dive a little bit deeper with you
Sure.
there, Maria, especially
Sure.
on the ad side, especially for our listeners who are doing very similar things that you're doing and seeing
Sure.
success or thinking about the ads. Is it just that you're not a fan of the ad side? Are you guys good with the leads that you're getting? What's the that main reason for not doing so much around ads right now?
I think for us, the main reason, although I do prescribe it to a lot of businesses that I work with, the main
Yeah.
reason for us is bandwidth. It's because once we turn on ads, it will become unruly for us at this point. We're not ready with the structure. It'll be something that we can do later, but right now we're not ready for that structure yet. Yet. But a lot of the businesses I work with, they are ready for that. I just like to make sure that they're ready by knowing what that flow looks like. What happens
Right.
when they come in on ads? Because I hate for them to spend on ads and then be a horrible experience for them to try to reach somebody. It's weeks on end before they can be able to even start down the funnel. That doesn't make any sense. So that's part of the reason why we don't have ads on. But I absolutely see the value of ads, and we work with a lot of companies and actually manage their ads. But we're very focused on what happens next, so that you're getting really a result, not just a click.
I love it. I absolutely love that. I appreciate that take on that. I wanted to hear that inside look, so truly appreciate it. So, as far as as your team goes, the sales process itself, when a client comes and works with you, do you have a full system in place, a full team in place between sales and marketing and your assistants and everything needed for that full process, or are you running a lot of that kind of sales side and running the show there?
We actually automate a lot of that because we do have email marketing in play, we do have funnels, and then of course now we've got AI at work. So I even have chat GPT, some custom GPTs that I use that people will utilize. And as I see them utilize that, I know that they'll be a good prospect for me. So now they can move on to the next step. And you can usually structure that out with NAN and be able to kind of make, or with
I love
Zapier,
it.
where it can do some automated, yes, some automation that way makes it nice and easy. So we do a lot of that, as opposed to having somebody right there. We have the people for the expertise standpoint. So the people will talk about, let's talk about SEO or AEO, or
Yeah.
let's talk, exactly about how do you structure and put this into your business profile, as opposed to the sales process.
I love it. I absolutely love that. So, with that, there, talk to us a bit about what you're thinking around a bottleneck for yourselves right now. I know that we just touched on the lead generation. So, whether it's on
Sure.
that side, converting those leads into clients, or the fulfillment aspect of it, is there a bottleneck right now that you are thinking to continue to hit that scale and growth?
The bottleneck right now is the we've got a good orchestrator, like you said, with NAN, but before then it's the output. What are we going to put there, and then where's it going to go next? So that part, we are still a little bit more manual than I want us to be. The
Yeah.
good thing is AI is evolving every 24 hours, so that's all good. We're going to have a solution to it. We're just not there yet, which is fine, because we're still structuring, okay, this can be more automated, or this we don't need to handle directly, or this we do. This needs a human interaction at this point. So we are at that point, but I think a lot of businesses are there too, because we're all walking into this AI powered world together. And how is this going to look, where we still keep the human side, but then take advantage of the platform and the programs that we can take to make everything much more efficient and profitable?
Yes, I absolutely love it. I love that. So, with that, there, then talk to us about the vision here. Paint us that picture, Maria. What does the rest of 2025 look like for KLI brand going into 2026? What are you really focused on and laser locked in on for the rest of this year here?
Well, laser locked in on is we're actually rebranding, of all
Okay.
things, right? A lot of people write because we don't have a lot of meaning connected to KLI. I know what the meaning is of KLI, but people on the outside in don't know that. So we're looking actually to rebrand for more visibility. And with that rebrand is going to be how we structure that last section, that last portion of that. So it'll be a challenge, I know, looking into 2025, about how do we get everybody used to that they were here in this one in KLI and now they're moving over here. But our hope is to be able to communicate on a regular basis to everybody and really showcase the fact that, listen, KLI is growing up into smart brand system, and we want to be able to put a system together for you so you can see how these tools will help you in marketing your business and now being able to scale without you having to go figure out what's the better software, what's the better AI, because right now that's what you hear everybody struggling with. What AI should I use? It's a horse race right now. So right now it is focusing in one that you can use. How can you use that in a way and pick one of the best ones, the good ones. If you don't know what one of the good ones are, I can share with you which are the good ones that'll be the long-term players that eventually everybody will have different aspects of the same thing.
Absolutely. I love it. So overall with that and really how you're looking forward into the future, how do you see the digital marketing industry as a whole and its evolution in the coming years, Maria, especially with your expertise in Google tools and your
Sure.
NEO expertise, your GEO expertise? What are you doing to really position yourselves in the forefront of that evolution?
It will really be about visibility and understanding the strategy behind it. I think that's where people are lost in that there's so many great tools out there, and that's what they're thinking is just piecemealing a lot of tools. Our focus is really looking at the fact that it's not a tool, it is an operating system. So if we think of Microsoft OS or even Mac, any of the Apple products being an OS, an operating system, that's what AI is. And it is not a trend, it's a transition where I do understand what that feels like because I was there when social media first became
Yeah.
involved. And I thought a lot of people thought it was a trend. It's not. It's a transition in the way people socialize and communicate. That you can pick up a conversation from watching each other's stories and then all of a sudden be live and somewhere in person and just pick up as if that conversation just rolled from that story. So it's the same thing that you're going to see happening with artificial intelligence and AI in play now that people actually have and they're using those tools. It's going to change a little bit of the dynamics. We'll still have the humanness, but it's just going to make things a little bit different. And I'm excited about that because I think everybody's going to be looking for efficiencies and be struggling with the fact, is it just a tool that I have to apply, or is this something I have to have a system around?
I absolutely love that. So taking that and going into the lightning round here for our
Yes.
listeners, Maria, first question for you on the side of the lightning round is going to be as far as a tool or a resource, whether it's a Google Ad Insight or a branding strategy from Brand Chat or an AI tool you're using, what has been the biggest game changer for KLI brand this far?
I think the biggest game changer is the fact that we're going to be leaning more into artificial intelligence, into AI, and knowing that we're not, I mean, we're at LLMs, we're at large language models, we're not at full artificial intelligence, which is to me just very exciting. That's still coming up.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And then last but certainly not least here, what is a piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now? Just heard your incredible journey and everything that you're able to do with your business here. What can you give them before we wrap up the show today?
Is really lean into and understand who your clients are, what they want, so what their needs are, and listen to them, not what you think they need, but what they actually say they need and the words that they use. Because when you can reflect that consistently, and that's the big thing, a lot of people are looking for silver bullets in marketing, and I tell them it's not. The non sexy, consistent, persistent work in marketing, that's what gets you the actual traction as opposed to anything else. So I think you knowing your clients so well, and small businesses, we have a great opportunity. We are lean and nimble, and we actually know our customers by name. So we have a chance to really get to know them in the words and to make bank on that.
Absolutely beautiful. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Maria, truly cannot thank you enough coming on the show and sharing your incredible journey and your insights with us. And clear as day with the passion and the drive that you have, why you've seen so much success and why you will continue to see that. I can't wait to follow along on your journey and maybe have you back on the show another 6 months to a year, get some really good updates, talk about the rebrand a bit and
Yes.
see where things are. But truly, again, it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget to check out KLI Brand at klibrand.com to learn more about their digital marketing services and follow Maria on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Maria Duron. For more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.